Alrighty. Let's get this sound under control. Because this has been Beetroot Kvass by Cosmo Sheldrake. Let's see, I'll get my stuff all sorted out and ready to go. Alright, welcome back to another exciting video game development stream. Let's see what I'm going to be doing today. Because I think at some point, I've been doing a lot of work like off stream on things that aren't the game, and I think at some point I need to go through and like sort of, I guess, meditate on what is going to be like the actual like points of the development, I guess, for this next release. And now we're on the Card City Night soundtrack. But basically, I need to really sort of do an inventory of what the game has, what I want it to have, and what would be the most interesting things to work on, because right now, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing that is not terribly important, but I also don't want to spill my guts on every single thing that's going to be in the game or that I want in the game, because at the end of the day, this is still going to be a game that I want people to buy for money, and if I spoil every little bit of it on stream, that's not going to be terribly exciting. But I guess we can just start with the my won't ships, my will ships, my could ship but would be ashamed. So let's just go through some more bugs today. Telegraph the route up the tower. Respawn. What was this for? Oh, okay. Chunk 121. Riley left lights at the tower entrance. Are these won't ships? I guess they might be. Let's go to 121, I guess. Actually, I think it should be... I should start putting stuff in the cave, because this stuff... Yeah, because this is now where a lot of this is going to be. So let's hide this stuff. And at some point I'll need to make an environment. Well, I guess I can just make the environment. So this will be... let's do... Also... What's the key binding again? I set up my key bindings in a way that I thought would be consistent, and it has not been consistent. Let's get this phone down. Also, I had an experience that I think I have a few Russian-speaking people who watch the streams and videos, so I think this might be funny for them. But I was brushing up my Duolingo, and I was doing some listen exercises, and I heard "Моей сестре нравится котята на велосипеде." So, my sister likes kittens on a bike. And I was like, what? She likes kittens on a bike. And I was like, so it's like, what does this mean? Is she like, is it like images of kittens on bikes? Is it like specific kittens that learned how to ride a bike? Is it just like cartoon kittens on bikes? Like, what does it mean? Because I guess I can't imagine someone who wouldn't like kittens on a bike, but like, that doesn't seem like something that would be typical for language learning. And if you're a native Russian speaker, you might know, you might understand what happened, because what they said that I'd heard was "Моей сестре кататься," or "Моей сестре нравится кататься на велосипеде." Кататься, not котята. She rides a bike. She likes riding a bike. Yeah, I thought that was fun. Because the sister's opinion on cats on bikes or kittens on bikes is currently unknown. But anyway, now let's get into the important things, the exciting parts of this, laying out these areas in a way that doesn't intersect with the world. I guess I can just preview the neighbors, but wait, actually, ooh. It'll be hard because these caves do not work with my script that previews the neighbors because they don't have numbers attached and they're not on the grid. Oh well, I'll just lay them out, and if the player intersects with them, I'll figure that out in playtesting maybe, unless I don't. Nope. Wait, why is this one here like this? You stay. Yeah, and that's been fun getting back into at least a little bit of learning in Duolingo. Because their Russian program has been improving, because when I first started using it, it was pretty bad. And they still have robo voices that sometimes just pronounce sentences weirdly so that words blend together in like unnatural ways, but otherwise it's not bad. Or maybe it's that they took Russian speakers that spoke each individual word, but not the sentences as a whole, so they just, you know, they don't quite mesh together like real sentences should. So what I'll probably do to supplement it is just do what I did in Russian, or in college, and we watched cartoons. Because I could do with rewatching Cheburashka. Okay, I should probably... Oh wait, whoops, oh well. This will be good enough. See, and I think for now... I'll keep it all here. Wait, actually, where did these wind up? Ah, okay, so that part's not even part of this yet. I mean, I guess I should just do it. So I don't remember how this connects up with this. Like, because I think it's the mouth of this. Let's go to chunk 121. Let's see how... Wait, no, it's not 121. It's 122, I think, is where the cave mouth is. Yes. Right in here. So we have this, just this tiny crack in the rock. Then we have this itty-bitty rectangle of stuff right here. So I think we can just have an outdoor reflection probe right here. And is it... I forget if it's 8 chunk... Or I'm limited to 8 of these simultaneously, or 16. Oh. Because I think it was... Oh, wait, no, I remember. I remember now, I think. It was janky as hell, because it's set to 8, I think, here. But it actually needs to be a square number. So it rounds it up to 16. Where is that? Yeah, so... I'm almost certain that's what it was. Or it was either that it had to be a power of 2 or a square. No, yes, it was 16. You can have 16 reflection probes simultaneously, even though it says 8 here. Because it starts with 8, then it rounds it up to a power of 4, as in a square power of 2. So when I tried setting that to 32, it crashed the game silently. Why didn't I just get Visual Studio open to figure out what that crash was caused by? Like, there's so many places where I guess I was just learning how to solve problems. Like, you know, it was knowledge that I knew, you know, that you can use Visual Studio to debug programs, but stuff that I didn't know how to work all together. Let's do... Okay, thank you for doing that like twice a day for every day for some reason. It's been giving me a bunch of those pop-ups and I don't know. Like, because it's like, it's not telling me that there's something wrong. But oh well, whatever. Okay, so this is our environment. So I think it's going to be, indirect light is going to be very low. Custom fog is going to be, let's do like a gray, reddish, orange. Wind reduction very high. Ugh. Okay, so another story about something that happened today was, right before this, I decided that I was going to get some ice cream, instead of going to the store to buy lentils like I was intending to. So because there's an ice cream shop right near me, so I just went there. And they have weird flavors that tend to work out pretty well. Like I had they had a goat cheese ice cream that was really good. So I was like, well, I'll try something funky. It'll probably be pretty good. And they had a sriracha ice cream sundae, which said it was going to be, said it was vanilla ice cream with a sort of sriracha sauce and like some sort of like crisp, I forget what it was, some sort of like leaf crisp herb thing. And I was like, I have no idea how that would work, but it could be good, so I'll try it. And, you know, so I got it, and it was this vanilla ice cream with some sort of red sauce, which was, you know, some sort of sriracha sauce. And I was like, all right, so yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to make this work. And well, the long answer is that they didn't. And yes, that is the long answer. They didn't make it work. Because it was just vanilla ice cream with sriracha, and that doesn't work at all. as I found out. It was one of those things that gets worse the more you eat it. Because like the first few spoonfuls, I was like, oh, this is okay. And then I got like halfway through and I was like, this is like inedible. Like I can't eat any more of this. So I ate a little bit more of like just the vanilla ice cream and then just had to throw it away. Yeah, it was, so yeah, if you're offered sriracha ice cream, it's gonna be bad. Oh, okay, I guess that's okay. And soon I should put something to actually block this off, because this keeps confusing me, because I think like that it's a chunk loading error, but it's because I didn't put the chunk there. But yeah, oh yeah, and so now, every now and then, I, like, burp, and I can taste, like, this sweet sriracha with, like, the weird, crisp vegetable thing that they had on it, which was, like, they mix it with some sort of sugar to try and make it edible. And the sugar bits were okay, but yeah, vanilla ice cream does not mix with sriracha at all. Yeah, the taste, the texture, the temperature is all bad. And also, to make matters worse, I got a sugar cookie with it just in case I didn't like it, and the sugar cookie was also bad. Let's see, what was the other food? I remember. I had another food disappointment recently, because I went to a food truck, and I tried their beef tongue burrito suave. And a burrito suave is basically just the stuff inside a burrito, but in a, like, dish, so you can eat it, like the rice and the beans and the vegetables and all the meat. But I was like, you know, because I know that beef tongue looks gross, because you can see the taste buds on it, and it's like these little cubes. And I was like, well, I like these guys, you know, these guys make good food, so I'll try it. But I think the fatal error was that they did not give me salsa with the burrito suave, and I forgot to ask about it because I just got it in a bag. Because unlike their other meats, where they usually prepare it with, like, some sort of, what's it called? Like sauce or marinade or something like that, where they prepare the meat. This tasted like they just boiled some beef tongue. Like it was just gray cubes of flavorless meat. And it still looked bad, because it still had the taste buds, definitely. Like, and the interior looked bad, because it was like, it's a very loose meat, or a very loose sort of fibrous meat. So it looked disgusting, and it was gray, and it had basically no flavor. And then worst of all, when I took my first bite, I was like, oh, they haven't sold a lot of this in a long time, have they? Like, they're going through their old stock of beef tongue that was in the food truck, because I don't think a lot of people are going to this food truck and ordering beef tongue for an extra $1. So it's just old, bad, squishy, gross-looking gray meat with no flavoring, and also no, not even any salsa on the rest of the ingredients. So it's just like, you know, just like tomatoes, cheese, beans, and rice. Oh yeah, and guacamole, I guess, but yeah, so that was my other recent disappointment, and that was like $18. And I only ate, like, I could only stomach like half of it. Also, now that I think about it, the sundae was $9. Like, I've been getting hosed on food recently, but that's just because food out here is expensive. What am I even testing with this? I guess I'm testing, now that I'm looking at it, I'm testing to make sure that the area works properly, which I'm realizing I have no idea how to test that. Oh wait, I know what I need to do. The sun should not be here. Let's see if that works. I don't know how to test that. I guess I can do options, graphics. Oh. Disabled. Okay. So yeah, here's what the game looks like with no shadows. Very beautiful. Oh yeah, and I guess I should test at the entrance of the cave what that looks like. Not great. I think because this needs to have a intensity of 1. Maybe? That looks worse, though. Oh, maybe I need this... Oh, I think I need... Well, which of these do I need in here? So, I think this reflection probe here should be part of the environment. Or should not be part of the environment. And I guess this one also... So these two should be, like, up here. These two... no, this one should be also here. Because these three are going to be inside the environment, so that way they're hidden when you're not in the environment. And that way, like, you know, because the player can't see any of these ones. That way it'll perform a little better. Because a big performance hitch that I found is when I render those things. What are they called? Reflections. That's what I mean. Okay, so what's the issue here? Why is this so much brighter? So there's a big seam right here where that reflection probe is, which isn't supposed to happen usually. Wait, is this? No, okay. This isn't because of the reflection probe. This is because the normal mapping doesn't work. Oh. Let's remove this one. Yeah, this is the fate I deserve. That ice cream is making me sick, and that's what I deserve for not going to the store and getting lentils like I was intending to. So yeah, I think that's really the takeaway here, is that, you know, children should always buy their lentils. Oh wait, okay, so there is a... Okay, so right here is a seam. I need to go to the world visibility, whatever it is. Yes, right here. If I can figure out how to get to it. Is it gonna let me edit it? Why is it not letting me... Like, there should be polygons. Oh, wait, okay, I see. For some reason, I put it as a child of an occluder. For no reason whatsoever. Oh well. Oh, actually, this doesn't intersect at all, I don't think. Yeah. Just barely not. Okay, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just really suspicious. Because that just looks bad. Wait, I know, test. So let's squish it, let's spread it. Okay, yeah, that doesn't seem to be the issue. I think that's just, modifiers or whatever it is. What am I actually supposed to be working on here? None of these feel like they're actually that important. What is the scrolling problem? Oh, scrolling UI elements is done with the right stick, which is fine everywhere except in dialogue. It feels bad to lock in vertical camera movement. Okay, so yeah, I do need a better control scheme there. I guess I could just use the right and left stick, or right and left triggers generally. Maybe? Let's make the train town. So I'm going to do this one. Because I do not know what else I want to do right now. Like, I had half a mind to just end the stream when I realized that I don't, like, that I was just doing stuff. Okay. So what we need... I'm going to bring this over to this window, so that way I can take a big screenshot. Oh, okay, there it goes. It didn't scale up properly for a bit. But okay. Take some big screenshots. Maybe I should get, like, I should have, like, an automatic screenshot taker. Well, now that I've said that, I don't actually do it that often. Like, because I was thinking of, like, you know, get the current camera position, create a new camera there with a viewport that's, like, 5 times as big. And then, like, you know, do something cool with it. And it's like, I don't actually do it that much. Like, that would be a lot of work. And then I would have, like, PNGs that I have to deal with. Wait, I guess I should have been doing Control-N and then... or screenshot, then Control-N. Wait, I'm going to take screenshots from a few different angles. Alright, so let's close this for a bit. Let's lower the volume down a little bit. Because what I'm thinking is, we need... This is a train yard, and it's going to be a train... what is it going to be? What is it? I think it's like F7 for layers. Yeah, for some reason they have F5 as tools, F6 for history. For some reason I feel like... Because I feel like colors and layers are the two most important things, so they should have been first. But how do I... The problem is, I'm literally completely incapable of doing any sort of concept art. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare, actually, because I didn't lay these out in Blender. But I'm going to want to position, like... Because if I want this to look really good, I would want it in Blender. That's going to suck. Maybe I can figure out... Maybe I'll figure that out instead of doing, like... You know, because I have tons of little projects that I've been doing in my free time that aren't related to the game. Maybe I can make one of them a script that can export the scene to Blender so that I can preview it and then, like, write it back to Godot. You know what I mean? Instead of, like, making another to-do list app even that mimics the same functionality as my current one, but in my own, you know, UI library. Which is still ongoing, by the way. I made shortcuts last night. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. doing that, and I shouldn't have, because I woke up late. Yeah, like, this is not useful. I'm just gonna block it out. maybe in the future, you know, the distant future, if I learn how to draw things in perspective and in lighting. Because I think that is becoming like the big issue, is the fact that I have basically no graphic sensibilities. Alright, let's just make a spatial node like right... whatever. This will be like block out. And we'll get our train cars. And I'm just going to start positioning these cargo boxes wherever I want. Are these... Why do these have no texture? Is it this? What? Why do these have no texture? Are they... Did I break them, or is this just a fact of their preview? Okay, what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to ignore that. And I also shouldn't worry too much about positioning, because these are just meant to give me a general idea of what I want. Because these are going to be replaced with, like, passenger cars that look like, or like modified passenger cars that look cool and stuff. See, and I think, actually, now that I think about it, this track is going to be free. Man, I want to do other things. I'm very excited for this game to be done at some point. Because I have had fun working on it, but I would also like to work on something else. And I suppose I'll have to wait until this gets done. Because if I, because I have been like, oh, I can do, this little project in my free time, and then I'll come back to my big project, and then it's like, that never happens. The new project becomes the big project, so I just gotta get this one done. And then I can start on another small project turned into big project. Like, this game itself was literally, like, meant to be a month-long thing as an act of procrastination from not finishing my latest game. Like, if you watch my, if you've ever watched the first stream that I did of this series, or stream 2, because stream 1 was basically the same one but with unusable audio. But I explain how I went through like 8 different projects where I was like, where it like ballooned in scope, so I switched to a different project. And that's exactly what this is. So I have to constantly fight the temptation to be like, well, I want to do something small, because I don't do things that are small. Like, the only small... Like, I've done, like, 2 games that are small in my life. They were... I have the kart racing game on my itch.io and the AI art gallery. The AI art gallery was pretty fun. It only took, like, 4 days, because I was basically just... That was when the first, like, AI image generators were coming out, so it was fun to work on them, but now there's, like, implications for the broader economy because they're good enough. I have been tempted to revisit that idea, though, because it would be neat to compare the very early stuff that I generated with trying to prompt like Stable Diffusion or something. But I don't know how much VRAM this computer has. I think it has like 6 gigabytes. I don't know if that's big enough, because they've been getting smaller. So it's more and more feasible to run it on your own computer. But this isn't like a hotshot gamer gear. This is like a GTX 1660 or something? Which was like a mid-range drive, or like a mid-range GPU when it came out like 5 years ago. What exactly do I want here, though? 'Cause I'm still thinking, like, one of these. I'm going to replace one of these with a... What is it? Where's my empty boxes? Or empty carts? Wheels? Is that... That's not what I want. I mean, I guess... Okay, let's see what this is. Passenger box. No, okay, so this is not the thing. Is it this? What? What does this mean? What is this inheriting from? Cargo cart. So this... Okay, I see. Then what is this? Why does this... Why does this not have a material? I mean, just put one of these on. It's bothering me. Okay, so I want a cargo cart without wheels. Or a cargo cart without the cargo. I guess I can just make another one. Just inherit from the same thing. Or like, I can duplicate this, actually. Empty car. I guess. Okay. So now, after decades of deliberation... That's the wrong thing. God damn it. We have an empty cart. Congratulations. Because basically all of these are going to be like double height. So I think what I'm going to... Ooh. I have a cute idea. Something like this. And if I make this have the same dimensions as the cargo boxes, like each of whatever prefab houses I make, I could just have it, like... I could just drop in, replace all of them. Even make a script to do it. And I could replace them with randomized versions. This looks extremely dangerous and not stable at all. What if... Hang on, let's put a little bit of scrap here. There we go. Perfect. And you doubters might be doubting me now, but you'll see once I get it, like, right there. Perfect. See, that's exactly what you're looking for. But I'll do a little bit more. Like that. And then I actually want this. You know what, let's just delete that. Duplicate this. Push it out like this. Then if I have issues with these, I'll just rotate both of them. or position both of them, so that way they're like somewhat flush with each other. Yeah, good enough. I keep forgetting. I shouldn't overthink these. Because these are meant to be just blockouts. So let's grab, like, all of these. Oh. Yeah, I think the problem is I have way too big of a scope for things that I do, and I focus way too much on details. I can do one or the other. Or I should do one or the other if I want to actually, like, make things without going crazy. Because I guess I'm still working on this game, and it's mostly, like, coming along. Like, I think I should be, there's higher priority things I should be doing, I think, in the game. But like I said, I need to do sort of a heart-to-heart with myself. Let's do that. Let's put that in here as one of my little tasks. So, so what should I do? Like, heart-to-heart. I'm like reeling from that sriracha ice cream. It's like reverberating through my body. It's like poisoned me. Like, I'm literally dying. Okay, so I want some cute little... So all the locomotives, I guess, are now detached. So I'll just put one of these, then one of these. And let's make one of these a little bit funner. This one will be a 3-story because it'll have a bridge between the two. Look at that. And this will be attached right there. Ooh, that works out pretty well because there's a little bit of room on either side, so I could have like a door, or I could have a passage this way. Let's actually make this one attached like this. So I'm going to do a whole little thing. Let's make these like here, I guess. So I want it to be like a square. Actually. Let's make this one of the empty ones, so it'll be... I know, I could put like gardens up here, now that I'm thinking about it. That could be cute. But I'll do, yeah, you know, this is a mock-up, so I can just do whatever I want. So like, it'll eventually be actual like square things up here. These boxes are actually really small, now that I'm looking at it. Like, this garden is not big. So I was meaning for each of these to be like a place where a person would live, but, oh well. This is probably good enough. I really need entity tagging, like some sort of tagging system for searching. I'm gonna look that up. In Godot, is there like a scene tagger that I can use? Or like an entity placer or something. I don't see anything. You know, I'm just gonna put that in my... I'm gonna put that in my to-do list. So this will be... No, not there. Tagging. Entity placer in editor. So this will be... Honestly, it could be... And it should be low priority, but honestly, I want to do this. And maybe... I know. Because that would be really nice to have. So let's do something like this. The thing is, the struggle with these is going to be that it's pretty easy to climb up any of them. So there's not really any platforming challenges here. But maybe there would be. And let's have another little bridge. No, let's have a proper bridge here. Let's do a scrap. Not a stone. I'm sick of stone. So what is it? Scrap 4, scrap 3? I should have named those. Wow, these are huge. These are so much bigger. I guess for now I'll just do a bridge across 3 of them. This goes across 4 tracks. And it's not even, like, big. Like, this does not feel like a big thing. Oh well. And after this, I'll design the carts. And it'll be okay. I guess I can be playing around in here while I do this. Because eventually I'll actually be doing stuff. And I can still live edit. Did I ever figure out... Oh yeah, I did figure out the issue with those. It was, I forget. Oh yeah, it was at the scene that I didn't apply the modifiers in Blender, or the modifiers didn't quite work right for that cave. I'll put that in the thing. Seam in cave 122. No, chunk 122 and cave 121. I keep forgetting that pressing enter is not... Like, pressing enter creates a new to-do item, and I don't have the ability to delete them yet. Okay, so what am I doing in here? Oh yeah, for some reason, I think when I duplicate entities, they... Oh wait, no, they don't have the same color. Okay, so it's just a coincidence that these three are all the same color in a row. And yellow is, for some reason, the rarest of them all. I guess one of these could be a thing. Like, I could just make it so that the camera zooms in close when the player gets in each of these. Yeah, that'd be fine. I wonder if people will just, like, chill out under here, because it is a shady spot. I mean, I guess I can just say they do. Like, I'm the one who decides if people do things. Let's figure out what I want to do. So, here, there's going to be a big thing. So let's get that in here. Because eventually there's going to be a really big military train. And I think it'll be... Yeah, I think it'll be right here. Because it'll have cannons that are pointed directly at the city across the way. So let's just mock it up with passenger boxes. Might be a little top heavy. Actually, what if I rotate this one? This one? Yeah, okay. It's this one. Say they were all pointed up like this. And now, not so much. Oh, wait, I have to do this. There we go. Because I'm gonna... What is it? E to rotate. Convenient. Well, I guess it's not that bad. It's based on the layout of these. So it's, what, Q, W, E, R. It's just, R to scale and E to rotate. Okay, whatever. I forget. These are still mock-ups. I don't need to make them perfect. They can convey what I want to convey. It's like this. Like, do I want this here? Maybe. Maybe it'll be like this, where it goes like, it's like this is what the train looks like now. I think this train is actually so long that it doesn't actually properly fit on these. Well, no. If I actually fit it on the tracks properly, it'll fit. Maybe? Whatever, I'm overthinking it still. Basically, if we go back here, there's going to be a cool train. And eventually this is going to look cool. It's going to be all weird. Because there's going to be basically a mix of technology here, where these have, like... This isn't even pointing at the town. Oh, okay, it has to be there. I didn't realize that's how it works. But okay. This is going to be right here, blocking all of these tracks. So they were using this as their artillery to bombard that city over there. And eventually I need to make that look good too. And so I guess we could have, like, carts that are now walling, or, like, walling this off, maybe? Like, maybe... And we need our locomotives. So this one's going to be an actual locomotive. So hopefully I will remember that if I want to, and if it's useful. I keep forgetting these aren't... I need to stop. It's not important. I just need to block it out. Alright. I'll just remind myself that these don't need to actually be, like, lined up with the train. Or, like, with the tracks or anything like that. They just need to convey the idea that I want to convey with an acceptable level of quality, which I guess will be the hard part. For me, at least. Good enough. Alright, so we have this here. Let's do, like, more of these. So these should be a little bit taller. I guess. Yeah, because I want this to sort of feel like it... Yeah, eventually... Let's convey this idea rather than make them consistent. That's good. I guess let's put this here. And then, I guess that's fine. Well, maybe these two need, or this one needs to be higher. And this one needs to merge with this. Or meet this better, like right here. And what I'll do is, a dang flickering thing. I guess it could be a cut ship. I think this might actually be in the game, or in the to-do list already. But oh well. You know, I'm realizing now, these are just really big. Like, these are just really big gardens. Like, this tomato is the size of it's the size of Jackie's head. Like, I could just scale these down. So I'm gonna put that in the to-do list. Okay, so what fun things can I put in here? Because we have this up here. So what can the player do from up here that they couldn't do from down there? Guess I gotta have another one of these, like, maybe, like, further out, like, right here? And eventually I'll figure out some way of making these interesting or do something. Or, like, integrate them somehow. Like, maybe there'll be cranes instead of these towers. You know, I can do a lot. And I think once I have stuff in, I can then start to figure out how this is actually going to turn into, like, a video game. Let's keep this area free. Or, like, have, like, an empty cart here. I know what I need. I need a fountain. Also, why did I make this like a prefab? Like, why is... Like, this is like a unique thing that only exists in one place. Why did I make that like there? Oh well. There's some questionable things. Yeah, this place will have its own aesthetic. Soon. Eventually. Let's just put some, like, straight carts out here. Like, these two, not even attached. So there's eventually going to need to be a low-res version of this. Ah, well. I'll figure that out when I get to it. Because someday there's going to need to be low-res versions of a lot of things that I haven't added yet. Let's do like a brick style for these. Hmm. Oh, the game crashed in the background. Right, because it doesn't like me editing things because of the multi-threading something or other. I think that's not on this to-do list yet. So yeah. Game crashes. Wow. Editing. This is a could ship because it is an editor. Crash. Tools. And I figured out where it was. I found a stack trace at some point, I think. That it was just in the... It was due to my background thread that loads the chunks. And let's see, and I'll say that this area here will be mostly free. Let's have, like, this here. And maybe, like, this one here. I guess these could be... I could use the columns for these for now. Maybe. How big are these? Oh yeah, that looks about right. I like that more than having these, even though they're both gonna supposedly placeholder. Allegedly. Placeholder. Yeah, because this looks more like it could be like like part of a crane or something. Instead of just like some random water tower in between two train tracks for some reason. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a script that will somehow magically bring all of these into Blender. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just make some nicer looking prefabs and then like edit those. Or put those in, swap these out with those. You know, because I can measure like the distance of this thing. In fact, let's push this over here so that way it's kind of level. So now it seems like this was an intentional part of this design and not just some random thing. I don't know why they'd have these so close together, though. Maybe that's good enough. I don't like it. Also, I should figure out what exactly this is that the player is going to be doing in here. Because, like, what is the sight line that I want here? Because I think from the phones... Well, from the phones, you can't really see anything. But I assume the player would, like, just hop across here, and then they'd be here. And I guess would the player be... Let's figure out what the player would see first when they get into town. So, from... Because they'd probably... Well, they'd almost certainly come from this direction. Alright, that looks kind of neat. I like those... I like the cranes. Or whatever they're going to be. I'll have to look at a train yard and figure out what they usually have. And I could have more carts here. Yeah, because I could have something cool And this is certainly cutting it close with the trains, so... But they look nice. Like, I like how this looks, even though it blatantly does not work with the trains. So yeah, it'll be something close to these. A little bit narrower to make room for the carts. Then the player can get up here. And so I think... Yeah, I could have challenges to figure out what to do with those. But I have also talked before, now that I'm thinking about this, this is actually coming out pretty well, because I've talked before about how if I start from, like, I need to design a level, I tend to design levels that are very bad, or, like, very ugly looking, and not terribly fun to platform in, because this moveset is good for just, like, a weird place. Like, just some weird geometry that you have to jump up around. Like, this is a more fun platforming challenge than something that I would design intentionally. You know, like, how do I get to the top of this thing? And so, if I start from just designing, like, okay, I want this to be a place that has a specific purpose in the world, but not a specific purpose in the platforming, then I tend to make things that are more interesting, because I can just push and pull things in here to make it into a game, where it's much harder to go the other way of, like, this is a thing for a game, now turn it into a place. Yeah, like, I think I can just hop up into this. Oh yeah, I can just... Okay, so these are pretty easy to climb up. I guess I could do that intentionally. I mean, I guess... Oh, I guess even without the stamina boosters, they'd be mostly okay. Like, mostly feasible. But okay. Let's just plop some more carts down. So I'll have this be a free area for other things. And this one... What do I want to do with this one? Maybe this one will also be free. I think these ones should also be kind of sparse. Well, I don't know. Maybe they should have, like, military equipment. Like, old military equipment or something. So yeah, we'll consider all of this. I guess I'll just check from here. Oh, they didn't quite work. Oh, I think it's because some of them are positioned using global transforms. Let's do a save. Because yeah, I had to change Godot, because its default behavior was to send the global transforms to the game from the editor, which was wrong. Like, that's not correct. Because these scenes are, like, these chunks are edited in isolation, and then they're stitched together in the main game. And so, the global transforms are all towards the center of the world. And I had to do things like I edited the transforms, I edited placing entities in the world, and I think there's probably duplicating entities or, like, relative transforms or things like that that I haven't fixed yet. See, I think all of these will also be beautiful doubled up bridges and things like that. Alright, this is coming along. This is a train yard that has trains in it. I guess... Yeah, I guess it'd be interesting if there's just one train, or just one track in the middle of this that had nothing for some reason. Because this one's also, well, I don't think I want these two to be mostly free. That looks kind of ugly. Like this one, good looking. This way, and then I'll have this one come out a little bit further like this. So maybe they're not linked together, they're just there. And I'll do the same with like this one here. No, I'll do the same with like these three. So a train could actually come in and pull into here. Wouldn't be, I would not recommend it, but it would be possible for that. Then, I guess... let's do something here. You know what I want to do after this? I want to make a webcomic. Well, maybe I should make a webtoon. I don't know the difference, except for that they have smaller pages and a formatting that honestly I don't like. So now that I've said it, I won't do that. Unless I figure out how much money they make, and if they make more money than me. I don't know. I guess the value of webtoons, the formatting of them, is that they're mobile friendly. Because it's like one image and then you scroll down and then it's another panel and then you scroll down and then it's another panel. But I don't read things on the phone. Like I have like, what do I have? I have 2 laptops and a tablet here. And then I have another laptop that's, where is that laptop actually? It's probably still good. I mean, it was having GPU... Oh, right. Oh, wait, are these scaled? Hang on, let's look at the passenger car, because it's almost certainly scaled. Is it? No, it'd be the passenger box. It is. Okay. Why is it slightly scaled down? What is that about? I mean, I guess it's because of that. Alright. Let's go to Blender. Thankfully, I was doing a billion things with the trains already. So it was just the passenger box. And eventually I need to go through and export every single setting again, as I've talked about multiple times. Because that way, I'll finally be able to have my, all my assets replicated across hard drives properly. What was I fixing? I was fixing this, now that I remember. Oh wait, no, I don't think it'd be fixed yet, because I didn't go back into the... I didn't re-import it yet. So I think this one's going to take a bit of time to load in. So I'm going to have to probably batch these together in like a multi-mesh. Because this is like This might actually be one of the most detailed scenes now, or one of the scenes with the most things in it now, which is not saying much because it's not that busy. But I don't have that much stuff in here usually. Because I think my performance improvements are going to matter more and more as I go through this, or as I add stuff to the game. So I'll have to figure out how much I want to commit to those, because I've had some ideas of what I can do, and I've talked about a few of them before, like making deferred rendering and reorganizing the tree so that instead of allocating as a point or as a set of pointers, it allocates them all into like one shared buffer and then uses integer indices to, to switch between them. And so a lot of those would take significant amounts of work. So I'll need to be sure that they're actually good. And honestly, probably, yeah, so I'll need to do more detailed, like, profiling of the game. And I guess just develop a deeper understanding of, like, when renderers get slow. You know what? This is going to be Persephone's cart. So I think I'm going to do some wacky things here. It's convenient how nicely these are sized. And I wish that my throat would cooperate with me when I'm trying to speak instead of instantly blocking me with like phlegm. But oh well. And I think I've mentioned at some point before that like, but oh well is basically my catchphrase for this development. Because there's always something going wrong, or always something that I want differently. Well, I think it'd be a bit obnoxious if Persephone's was the highest card in this entire place. I mean, it would be... I'll make another one. And there'll be like doors on this side instead of the other side. Maybe they'll poke out... I guess they'll poke out like this way. And then this here... I know, let's just poke this out like this so that it looks cool. Like that looks cooler. And now that I've done that, why haven't I done overhangs for other places? Like, because you could have, like, this. What if I put this one down here, like that, and then I move, or duplicate this one, spin it, and overhang it from both sides, and it'll have a door in the center. You know, these would get very hot in the summer, or I guess out here, since this is a desert region. Maybe they have some way of figuring that out, or some way of not having that be such an issue. Or maybe they just sit on their porches. They all have porches on these boxcars. Porches and patios as far as the eye can see. Let's just have this down here. That'd be neat. Yeah, this looks kind of cool. That actually is pretty cool. What if this one just slots in here? This is the wheelchair ramp for accessibility. They're very forward-thinking. Now that I'm thinking about accessibility, I don't know how any human being would navigate this place, because Jackie can only get up here because she has like an 8-foot jump. Like, she has an 8-foot vertical. If you saw her in real life jump like she jumps in the game, you would cry in fear. And that's like what's necessary to survive in this hellish place. Like, I mean, I guess a person's physical fitness would be pretty good out here, but let's make this one not so rectangular. I'm going a little crazy with that one. You know, just a little wild and wacky. And then how much more? I guess here there'll also be some bridges. You know what? Beautiful. And what if somebody just put one of these out here, and this is just their house? This is just their house. In fact, they'll even have... This is the Titan Tower. This is where the Teen Titans live here. Actually, now that I think of it, what if it does spell out something? What if it spells out Musna Cross? Nah, that'd be too much. What if this one was a little bit off? eventually. I think the script for these is going to be pretty hard on the game. In fact, let's check that right now. So I can do, what? A teleport to, like, 1? Oh. I think this might be far enough away. No, let's do, like, a teleport to, like... So which way is freedom? Because I want to be far enough away that the chunk actually unloads completely. And yeah, up here, yeesh, I need to do more work up here, because this is also not, like, anything. I spent way too much time focusing... Like, again, I didn't block things out. I didn't block out an entire city. I made, like, 4 buildings and placed them down. And then I got sick and tired of it. And that place, I still want to do the whole thing with the museum there. Too much stuff. And the frame rate is tanking. Oh. That might be why. Okay, so I'm seeing... Well, no, if I look away, it doesn't help significantly, so that's not it. It's just performing badly. Yeah, inexplicably. Like, there's a psychological thing, I think, where every time I press spin, it feels like the frame rate just stops having issues, and I don't know. I mean, I guess that could be a player script thing. So look at how bad she looks in this lighting. Alright, let's do... Oh, what are these errors? Oh, no. That's fine. Oh, wait, no. I need to start again. Let's let it take its sweet time. Okay, so this is running. Can I remove frames? Let's just clear it. Let's do the same thing again. Let's see if I can understand why the frame rate gets so bad. Because here the frame rate is okay. I mean, there's a weird, like... There's a weird regular stuttering where it's not like the frame rate itself is low, but it's like it's high and then it stops for a little bit. And then it's high and then it stops for a little bit. I don't know if how well that comes across on the stream, but it's something weird. There's a little hitch there. There's a big hitch there. That might be when the chunk was loaded. Because chunk 85 now has a bunch of, like, 100 train cars all launching their tiny little scripts. Because I think the other thing that I could do is I could change the game to all C++. Like, remove... So if I spin... Yeah, my frame rate went great. Process time. Physics time. Physics time is 20 milliseconds. Ooh. Okay, that explains the hitch. It's calculating the... Okay. I knew there would be an issue with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to calculate one of these every frame. So yeah, this... It's so much worse than even loading the chunks. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Let's get that. So we need, like, cached bounds or something like that, and then, like, a frame or something. hash bounds equals this. No, it equals a dictionary. No, wait, no, I can't do that because GDScript has a bug where if you assign an empty dictionary in the top level here, it has issues. Like it creates a shared reference to the empty dictionary across instances. So let's do if dot name if ch.name in hashed bounds else. And then we do the same thing for update active chunks. Okay. And does the debugger profiler, let's clear that. Because I knew, or I was suspecting that there would be issues with it. Okay, so now it calculates it only once. This will have an issue though, where I still need to calculate the bounds sometimes. So what I might do is only calculate the bounds for one chunk every frame. That'd be okay. I could live with that. Or maybe anytime it's added to the tree. Well, no, I don't want to put extra pressure on that function. Okay. Let's see what it looks like now. Yeah, now it's way, way, way better. Yeah, because I didn't see that frame death that I saw before. But now there could be issues with the active chunks. Well, could there be? I don't know. What if I just recalculate the bounds of any chunk that's queued to load? Or queued to unload? So let's queue deactivate. Let's put... Let's put that in there. So anytime it's going to queue... Oh, wait, no. Right before it deactivates. So that way, if it's bigger, when it was active, it'll do that. And that should be reasonably good. And I think there shouldn't be too much of an issue with it. So let's just ride away until this thing deactivates or whatever it's going to do. Let's see if I can see it unload. Because I made that happen further away. Oh, the hill. Oh wait, okay. And I see that there's seams and everything because I didn't apply the modifier when I saved the terrain last. Or have it visible, or whatever it was. I really should make the GLTF exporter plugin. Hang on, let's just no clip out of here. I want to see it go away. That's a little far. Is that really how far it has to be? Okay, there it goes. All the way out here. I'm going to make that a little closer. Because I think I'm going to have low-res versions of all these eventually, maybe. Distance load. Yeah, let's make this like... Let's put that back down to like 500, because this is the distance from the edge of the bounding box. In fact, let's make it like 400 and like... or like 60. In fact, 200. 260. Because these bounding boxes are huge. Because, like, I keep forgetting, the game is 6 kilometers wide. So if I add 800 meters, that means that, like, a third of the game, like, well, no, like a quarter of the game, or like some big chunk of the game is going to be loaded all at the same time. And someday I'll even do the sub-chunk thing, where I actually have each individual sub-chunk calculate its own bounds. Okay, so I see the little seam of this chunk. Let's see when it unloads. Yeah, so once I have like LOD meshes, that should be fine, because at this range... Ooh. And now we can see the frame stutter when that loads in. Yeah, the frame stutter leaves something to be desired there. I think eventually I'm just going to have to convert all of my scripts to C++, because I found that, like, even when a script doesn't do anything, like having it be in the process loop, for example, causes a massive performance overhead, even when it doesn't do anything. Because just calling into the scripts is a huge amount of work for the engine. So I would just compile so I would just make a new game module, essentially, in the engine. And I would compile the entire engine when I wanted to do everything. And I guess it would start with... Ironically, it would start with the smallest scripts, like the things that check for, like, the distance, or distance visibility checkers and things like that. Oh man, it's going to be awful to try to figure out the editing story of that. Because, like, the other thing that I could do is just... Actually, now that I think about it, I could just have I could just run an editor script that gets each train. Because I don't need each of these to have its own stuff. I'll just make that a thing. So let's do, like, anytime, like, anything that has to... or convert... So this will be, what, performance? So this will be examples like, I know. Random train texture. Random coats. Or NPC coats. Maybe. So this one is a could ship. But Yeah, so these need to be fixed or changed or something. So this one, it would pain me to do that, because then the player wouldn't get randomly generated coats. They would only get, like, I would get randomly generated coats, and then the players would all get the same coats. Which, I mean, I guess wouldn't change too much about the game, but... Because from the player's perspective, they're probably not going to play it multiple times, and if they do... Well, I guess I could... I don't know what I could do. Maybe I could pre-generate a pool of them once, and then have, like, random indices into it? But then it'd be so much more likely to get duplicates and stuff. Oh wait, I don't even have shadows on. No wonder the frame rate is so good. I mean, it's actually, it's okay. Yeah, so... Ooh. Oh. That's when it's deactivating. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's watch for a freeze, because now there's also going to be a stutter when you leave a chunk. So yeah, that's the stutter when we get in. So this is the border. Is this the border of it? Yeah, so there's a tiny stutter that I think is perceptible when the player actually exits a chunk, because it's calculating the bounding box of the chunk on exit. Which it should probably not do. Actually, now that I think about it. No. Calculating the bounding box of the chunk of an active chunk every single time the player checks it would be terrible. But I will have to do something more efficient there. That's a function that should probably be C++. Okay, what else should I do today? Because I don't want to quit half an hour early, but I also don't really know. Well, I guess what I should do is I should figure out what I want to do with this place. So, like, you know, how does it feel to run around? How does it feel to, like, do stuff here? Like, I want to be able to get up here, for example. So maybe... Wait, what the heck is this? Okay. That was okay. Yeah, Jackie's terrifying. Because these are, like, actual sized, like, properly sized, boxcars. And Jackie can just crouch jump up on top of it. Because I've been thinking about how I want to... Once I do the animation rework, if I do it. Because it'll be a lot of work. I've been thinking of how I want to better sell things, because I think my theory of... Well, my theory of gamefeel is that it's mostly about consistency of the animations with the player's intuition and physical reality. So there's subtle things, like the fact that, when Jackie jumps, she has almost no... She exerts basically nothing. And she goes 4 feet into the air. Like, from her center of mass to where her center of mass is. Like, she accelerates it at basically an inhuman level. Like, for reference, the average person has a vertical jump of about 8 inches. And she has about, like, 5 times that. So that was why one of the first things I did was I made her jump, like, gravity is like 2.5 times bigger in this game, because otherwise her jump felt weirdly floaty. And it wasn't that gravity was too low, it was that her jump was so high compared to the amount of effort she was exerting that it didn't feel right. It felt like the gravity had to be lower or something. And so changing the gravity was just sort of masked the actual inconsistency there. So I've been thinking, well, you know, that was a good enough solution, but do I want to change that? Like, would I want to make it so that maybe Jackie looks like she's exerting more effort? Or maybe her center of mass doesn't move as much and instead she sort of crouch jumps up to things. Or maybe I just want to keep it as it is, or maybe I want to do something in between all of those. Like maybe I slightly reduce the gravity closer to what it is realistically, and slightly make her, you know, animation look like she's jumping higher, and sort of make her move her center of mass a little bit more. Or keep her center of mass lower as her legs go higher. You know, because like, the crouch jump especially looks better than the regular jump, just because there's an anticipation and then a release. So I was thinking of things like Tomb Raider has a little bit of a delay on your jump as Lara actually builds up like power in her legs to jump. And I was thinking, well, I don't know if I'd want to do that. But it was something that I was considering of just like, you know, how do I make the game feel as good as it can? And the answer is basically to make it look as good as it can. So that would be fixing the flickering on those particles, which is still driving me crazy. Because that's basically because, if you didn't see it, I've changed how the particles are sent to the physics or the rendering thread because it was causing a 60 millisecond delay. Actually, speaking of, how's our profiler doing? It could be better. Is there anything that I can do? Seems like it's mostly Seems like it's not script stuff anymore. So like here is almost good, for example. This was when I alt-tabbed, so this would be like nothing for me to control at least. I think, yeah, there it is. Oh wait, no. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so when you pause, there's a significant delay as it takes the screenshot. I guess I should start designing the actual prefabs that are going to be here. So, like, what do I want? I guess we'll save and quit for now. So let's say maybe like what if it cut here? And then it was like a let's see what that was. Oh, Duolingo. Okay, that's fine. It's like, would I want it to like cut into here, and then it would have like maybe like a little table in here and like a little chair, and like maybe like a little like patio roof or something that like comes down like this. Then maybe like a little fabric thing. And I don't think there would actually be like a... I guess it wouldn't come down all the way like that. It would come down like this, maybe a little bit. So let's do like, let's do that. So yeah, then it would come down to like here. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? And then there'll be a little door. So we'd have little... I am making a little boxcar city. So right now I'm sketching out what I would want the boxcars to actually look like, because I just put down some standard boxcars that I had. So now I'm gonna think through, like, what are the little bits and pieces that I would actually want here. So like this one here, and then maybe this one would have like a what would this one do? Yeah, basically I'm going to make all of these, instead of just like these generic boxcars, they're all going to be something different, probably. So I'm going to think probably of like 4 or 5 good designs that I can piece together reasonably well. So yeah, there'd be one that has like a little front entrance. Maybe it'd be easier if I just modeled these, now that I'm looking at this. Because I'm not much of a 2D artist. So if I just got a cargo box. And then I just had like a... I guess I'll just make it in like... Let's do like... Let's see. I've been making games, not professionally, but just as a hobby for like 10 years. So I'm gonna do... Thanks. One of the things that I've heard, well, I guess, so my dad was a musician, and he talked with a lot of musicians, and his general advice for me about creativity was, the happiest musicians have money coming from somewhere else. Because, and I think that applies to game dev as well, where essentially, as soon as it becomes business, it's not very fun. Because it's hard to make money, and it's very stressful, and there's a lot of work to it. I'll do a grid fill. That looks okay. Yeah, look at that. That'll be a little patio. So I think here... I mean, I guess I don't actually need the patio attached here. Yeah, I think, because I think I've been tempted. So like, this game, for example, I'm going to sell for money. But I think only if it actually makes money, then I might consider doing it professionally. But if it doesn't, then I just will keep doing what I'm doing. Let's dissolve this edge. Next, I don't need any of these to be... Let's see, I am a software developer. Let's see, do I want this? I guess this is okay. Let's make this detached from this, though. Because now that I spent all that work making this beautiful little thing here, I don't actually want this. Do I want a seam here? I guess if there wasn't a seam... Oh no, there was a seam. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I wasn't committed to a symmetrical design, but I do think it would be better if it was explicitly asymmetrical. So what I'm thinking now... So if I do... Let's get this like this. Because what I'm thinking... is I'll have an entry this way, and there'll be a little fence. And I'll probably make a mirrored version of this as well. I guess I don't need this side, but oh well. Let's see, it is an open world 3D platformer that has, let's see. I guess the interesting bit is the story. Because I've explained it a few times, but basically, you are a young woman who has found a device called the medium, or has sought it out. And what it does is it allows a person to talk to the dead. And so the main character, Jackie, who you're playing as, is using it to commune with the medium to see her mother, who she didn't actually know when she was a child. But the way the medium works is it's not supernatural. It instead creates an AI of the person in question and lets you talk with that. And it has its own ways of filling in information to be more useful than just like regurgitating what you've already heard, but that's essentially what it does. And because Jackie hasn't met her mother, it's very limited in its capabilities. Yeah. And so what she's doing now in the game is going around and learning more about her mother from people who were in the area. You know, because the place that you're exploring is her home country, essentially. Well, essentially it is. Yeah, I think there's... Yeah, I bet there's a Black Mirror episode similar to it. Let's see, I guess I need a little bit more here. Oh wait, these are the seams for the UVs, so these should actually be... Thanks. Yeah, so there's sort of questions in the game about how accurate could the medium possibly be with the information that Jackie learns. Let's see, I'm gonna do... I guess all of these will go down. Well, I guess I should have done this first, but... Oh, neat. I'm gonna do down like this. Let's see. Yeah, I suppose that's a risk, but there's always going to be people who need, I guess, newer employees. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh. I guess I could make these, so I could make. So I'm gonna remove that. Cursor to selected. Origin to cursor. Because what I'm going to do is I'll have this one, which will have a little door. Let's see. So the world is open. So I've split it into 144 chunks. And like, Yeah, one of the very first things I did when I started learning Unity way back when was I tried to make a character controller that was basically had the same moveset that I'm using now. Because it's very heavily inspired by Jak and Daxter. Yeah, eventually I want to make an actual like tutorial on how to do it, because there is a lot of different stuff in it. Because there's like 3 different ways that it checks if you're on the ground, because there's like, you know, it checks the collision, then there's a little area underneath your feet for when you're already on the ground that is more generous, and then if you're pressing up against something like crawling at an angle against a wall or something like that. I forget what the constraint was, but I also needed a ray cast going down to make double sure that you're not on the ground, or triple sure, I guess. Yeah, because... And this one still has a bunch of little compromises, like how it handles V-shaped geometry not quite right. But someday I'll hammer out all the kinks. Let's see, for now. Thanks, yeah. Oh, yeah, I should put... I wonder if I can put links on my Twitch page, because I should put a link to a demo to the game. I'll figure that out at some point. But okay, what I'm going to do here... So we're going to have this be a box. All right, let's do... So this is going to be box short collider. And then we're going to have a... Actually, this should probably be... Let's just... maybe this will be... Let's see. Admittedly, nowadays, I haven't played that many games recently. Let's see, I don't actually remember what sort of... I guess... It's not really a kind of game, but I like playing The Outer Wilds, or I liked playing it, and that was a recent one. But yeah, I guess... Yeah, I really liked it. What do we actually want with this? Let's look up awnings. Oh, right, I know what I'm missing. Let's see, I haven't played it yet. I've been meaning to. Yeah, I've heard that's another very good one. Yeah, I should check it out, because, yeah, that's a good comparison. Or a favorable comparison, I guess. Because I have been thinking of, like, ways that I can make the player, or exploration in my game, more self-guided, like in the Outer Wilds. Because it's very, very good at that. And I guess very good at rewarding the player for asking questions and investigating things. Interesting, because I do have the journal and I do have the medium, which do sort of do that. But I haven't really thought of them as reflection places, which would be interesting. Yeah, that's one place where I don't think, or where I guess I don't think the interactions that I have are quite flexible enough. So I'd have to figure out what sort of things I can add. Because that was another thing I was thinking of, is the fact that, like, in the Outer Wilds, you can beat the game, like, almost immediately, if you know what you're doing. And that's the and that's, like, the, you know, the whole of the game, is knowing what you're doing and learning what you have to do. And it makes it feel, so it's like, so the game just puts you through all these revelations of, like, figuring out what's actually happening, which is the, like, the really used, or, like, the strong part of it. Let's see, do I want... I guess this doesn't quite match what I have in here, but that's okay. I'll just make this match what I have. Mm-hmm, yeah. I guess that's good enough for now, because I need to make sure that I'm not getting too lost in the sauce on these. So let's put these inside here for now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because it took a lot of effort for me to not, like, precisely line up all the train tracks on this thing. Even though I knew and I explicitly said that these were placeholder, I still had to resist the temptation to have everything lined up and spend, like, 5 times longer on it than I should have. Let's see, let's make this one. So this is going to be like a... Or no, box house side. Let's see, I can show you, actually. I'll at least show you the intro bit. So let's do... Let's do a cheat. So yeah, all I need to activate this, to plug this in here to open the doors. And here's what the medium can do. And so for now, Jackie's mom is just a white outline. Eventually I want something more vague. Interesting. I guess there is similarity. But yeah, I was tempted to have more of those around, but I want the capacitors to be not something the player has to think about too much, because eventually there's one for the medium, and then there's going to be some endgame stuff. Yeah, and eventually I'm also thinking of having things like more settings, or more places, and even more people that she can talk to in here. Which I think could be interesting. Or having other people come in and talk to somebody with you in there, and like for some reason. And other things that I could do with that. And that's the little demo guy. He essentially just tells you how the demo works. Yeah, it's basically that chair and the room it creates around itself. Because I was tempted to make a place you could interact with. Let's see, there's a lot of conversations you can have with NPCs, because the game is also pretty heavy on dialogue. So it's basically, you can find people who knew about your mother, or you can find locations that have little bits of information. But generally it comes from other people. Yeah. Let's see, I'm gonna do... What should I do here? I guess I'll do like a... One of these numbers, maybe? That seems okay. Actually, it should probably be... Now that I'm looking at this. That could be interesting. I'm gonna say, actually... Yeah, I think it would be... I think that is a big thing that the Outer Wilds has that I can't replicate right now, is the having things that you can use on other things. Because yeah, it would be useful to have something like that, I think. Let's see, what else do I actually want with this? So, I have little doors. I guess maybe I'd want little windows as well. Let's do like, I mean, I guess what I do have that's useful in this case is the fact that I have journal notes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could use that in a similar way. So I'll show you. So if we talk to this guy, we can use an item. So one of the things you can do with NPCs in the game is you have items and then you have notes in your journal about people. So let's see, I'm going to talk to the guy Armstrong because he's one of the main characters. I also need to indicate that better. But I can use the journal, talk about this guy. So that's not necessarily a device that creates things, but it is sort of a similar mechanic in that you get things that you can then use in any context. And most of the time they're not going to do anything too interesting, but... Alright, so that stuff is good. And then, do I have... That didn't give me a note. But yeah, eventually, that's also something that I want to flesh out more, because I added it because I wanted it for, just because I was frustrated by open world games that didn't let you sort of respond to information you got. So I was like, well, what if they just let you, like, pick the item from the game like an adventure game? So that way you had to reasonably know about what it was doing. But now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, I could probably figure out ways of using that in a more interesting sort of way like that. Because I hadn't been thinking about it, but yeah, like... using the right items and right notes in the right context with the right person to do things and then you can learn about it organically. Yeah, I guess that could fill a similar gap in the exploration. Let's see, I'm not sure yet how long I want it to be. I settled on, because I made the game's world very early on, so if I go up here, I think if I actually filled the game with like a dense level of content, it would be like 15 hours, but I think that's a little bit outside of my abilities. So it'd be like, I'd probably have to like negotiate with a publisher and get like a team of people if I actually wanted that much content. But if I accept that the player has to walk around a bunch at some point, it'd probably be more realistically like, I guess like 6 hours, probably. But yeah, it is basically a detective game. Or at least it has detective game mechanics. I haven't actually done many, One of the big gaps right now is any sort of side content. Because I have like 3 quests in the game so far, more than a year into development, which has been a big problem. But I just struggle with it. Because I focus on too many details. Also, I need to eventually stitch those back together, but that's okay. Let's get out of here. Let's see, I haven't. I don't think I've played, I don't know what, I guess the last big game that I played, or AAA game, was, Elden Ring, which I played about 20 hours of. Let's see, do I want this to be like this? I guess this is okay. And I'm going to add another cargo box in here. But yeah, I quite liked Elden Ring, though admittedly, I haven't played actually all that much of it, because I'm not particularly good at those sorts of games. Yeah, I should play more games. But yeah, that's sort of what I want with this game, because with the structure of it, basically the main story is side content, since, you know, the main plot is to find out things about your mother, and you do that by basically going on the video game side quests. Let's just put a little... one of these on both sides. Yeah. Because basically the goal is I want it to feel like more or less like a series from a, or like a TV series almost, where it's basically, each episode can stand on its own, but they all build to something bigger. Oh, I need, how big do these? I'll have to check these in the game. Let's get rid of these. Because the windows are going to be slightly higher. What should I do here? I guess this will be fine. Oh yeah, I did. It actually has the same mechanic, but it's only used once in the entire game. Because the game is like 5 minutes. Yeah, it was fun. Though I did, if you watch my streams, I did have a serious mental decline as I made it. Yeah, let's see. I guess for now I'll leave these be. I'm gonna play around in this area some more. Yeah. Yeah, and I only wound up using a day and a half, basically. Well, yeah. Because I did a little bit on a Friday, and then I did a bit on a Saturday. Ooh, that was weird. There's like a slowdown there. Let's see, I guess I should figure out what I want to do with, like, these ones. So I'd want a... I know. I'd want a front door and a side door. Or a front door and, like, a back patio. Let's see. I guess acquaintances. I don't know too many people who do game dev otherwise. Yeah, because I've gone to, like, game developers' socials and things, but not too much. Actually, I guess this is about the right height for this. So this is... So let's extrude this in. So this one goes in like this. I'd like one that's a bit more interesting. So let's do... Actually, I guess I'd want all of these to be a little bit more. So yeah, let's make some of these passenger cars, actually. Oh, wait. I guess I could have just a passenger box. Should have done that on the actual thing. So I want one of these to be, what if I chopped out this entire section here? Let's do a scale 0 here. Oh wait, I gotta go back to median point. So what if we took this one and we went and we extruded so now we've turned this essentially into a passenger car. If I push this down. And what I'd like here is actually to maybe make this. Actually. What if I... I don't know how this will handle this. That actually worked. Okay. So I'm going to have these two. Like that. And then I'm going to have this one just be a window, I think. It's kind of weird to have this, but okay. That looks cool, though. The hard part is going to be texturing all of these. Okay, because I think this one, I'm going to do a similar thing where I basically just push this inward. Or let's grab this whole thing. I do. Didn't I want one of these that had a... Oh yeah, I guess I made it so that this one has a... Oh, I guess I didn't make that one have a back door. One of these should have a... Oh, you know, I made this one have a back door, so then it pops out. Or one or the other. I'll make this one also have a back door, though. Okay, I've run about 22 minutes long, but I did get some nice little things done. Or at least blocked out. So what I'm going to do, I guess tomorrow... No, not tomorrow. Sunday? Saturday? One of those days. Oh yeah, I'll be back streaming Sunday. I forgot my own schedule. Yeah, let's do texture... the train, cars, so this will be cross chunk 049, I don't know, visual, environment, something like that. But alright, I guess that'll be it for this stream. Got some nice little modeling done. Oh, the game runs so much faster when it's not being recorded. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting. Let's see. Yeah, have a good night.